Hello and welcome back to my series where I go through all my different characters from Zombicide Fantasy. Today we are talking about Jianrui from Eternal Empire. I hope I pronounced her name right. What she does and what role she fills in the composition of the party. Um, so if we start looking at her first skill, which is by spending one chi point, she can get 2 damage combat, which basically means that instead of if she has a weapon that do 1 damage, let's see if I have one here, like a katana, it would actually, instead of only being able to deal with small zombies, you can actually deal with the brutes slash fatties zombies. So yeah, while it's a good skill, it's just said it's bound to cheat, but it's a really interesting skill. Her other skill she gets at level 1 because she's from the White Death era of it is 1 free guard action. Which means that in White Death and Eternal Empire we get these NPCs called guards, which normally a player can use 1 action to give a command like attack a zombies with range attack or melee or move 1 or a battalion. And what she basically has is once per turn she can dodge it for free. So instead of spending one of her precious actions to order them around, she can just do it for free. And that skill I personally think is really good. In level 3 you can choose between 1 free move action, which is basically a free movement on the battlefield, or you can choose the skill. Let's see if we can do it. For 1 chi, you can get 1 free combat action, which basically means, again, by spending 1 chi point, you are able to get 1 combat action of any kind, like magic, melee, or range. Which, it's a really good skill, but again, it's bound to the chi points, so you have to be very aware of how much chi you have. In level 3, she can choose between get 1 free combat action, which is basically the same of this one, but not tied to the chi mechanic. +1 to dice roll melee. That means when she use a melee weapon, like again, we can take the katana, which is a melee weapon. Instead of let's see, this one has 2 dice. When you use this one, which would normally hit on a 4. And let's say you roll a 3, you basically say +1 to that, so it's technically a 4. Or even better, we're not going to talk about that, that's the katana special skill. Or you can choose it to get to 1 dice roll range, which basically is the same as the melee, but to range attack. And personally, I think it's basically speak to what kind of role she needs to fill, which is basically adaptability. All of her skills is adapted to what the situation needs for, because it's not always you can get the perfect gear for every of character, but because of her skills is so broad, her power level is a little lower, but her ability to basically, when she gets to the later state, to adapt to any situation of what she has found, makes her a really interesting one to actually use. Or if it's an object heavy focus game, 1 free move action is also a really good skill. Her body slot's weapon is the Dragon Lance, and it's actually a good way to talk about what a lance and polearm is, because it's technically a melee weapon, which means that you are able to attack zombies from 1 zone over. But if zombies are in the same zone as you, you cannot attack them. So that's kind of the downside by having this polearm weapon. Now, its other stats is basically you get 2 dices, to roll with. You hit on a 4 unless you spend 1 chi point. Then you hit on a 3, you can do it once per turn. And you deal 2 damage, meaning you can defeat creatures up to brutes. So yeah, that's basically that. But because of its uniqueness of being a polearm, it's actually worked really well if, let's say, that you have a really good melee weapon, but you have like an important zombie that you need to deal with, or let's say that there's like this one here, where there's a zombie here that will come in and attack you, and you have used all your movement to get rid of the zombie in the zone. You can just poke them down with the lance, or even if you're standing on the wall, you could use it to attack from the range attack. So yeah, I really liked the polearm edition. I think it was a really good way to evolve the weapon system without kind of breaking it. So yeah, but all in all, I think she's a really interesting character. She's a little too broad for my my taste, but because of that, you can never really you always feel like you can do something with her. Not like some of the others who have to go down a range build or a melee build or a magic build, or else they will just be, well, a blank character. From the level 2 all the way through, she just does what she can use to fight with. So yeah, and you can even see her model. I can see I've just played with her not too long ago to figure out what role she was using for. Let's get all of this out of the way so I can get it to focus. You can see she has her trusty dragon lance and her entire dress, and I really like all of the minis we're getting from Eternal Empire and White Death. In general, I think they're really, really good. So yeah, that's Jianrui. Again, please focus. So I hope you have enjoyed, and have a nice day.